Here's your daily dose of disaster coming out of the Trump White House. Now, Trump is granting ethics waivers to top members of his White House staff so they're free to break long-standing ethics guidelines that prevent conflicts of interest while people are working for the government. I'm sure that won't have any negative consequences. Specifically, 17 people, including senior White House advisor and Dark Lord Steve Bannon, senior advisor and MIA press person Kellyanne Conway, and his resident establishment Republican and chief of staff Reince Priebus, are all exempted from White House ethics rules. Here's what a White House spokesperson had to say about it. Quote, "The White House counsel's office worked closely with all White House officials to avoid conflicts arising from their former places of employment or investment holdings. To the furthest extent possible, counsel worked with each staffer to recuse from conflicting conduct rather than being granted waivers, which has led to the limited numbers of waivers being issued." Bullshit. Remember on the campaign trail how Trump said he was going to drain the swamp in Washington? Apparently he meant he was going to drain the swamp into the White House. Most presidents also post a log of visitors who come in and out of the White House so we, the people, can keep track of who's pressuring our president's staff to make certain decisions on certain days. But Trump got rid of that too. So now we have no idea who they're talking to and less dots that we'll be able to connect when they engage in corrupt practices. On Twitter, @Lachlan summed it up nicely. Quote, "In case you missed it, White House waives ethic rules for former lobbyists and political operatives so they can work with old clients and employers. Trump also exempted 3 lobbyist-turned-White House officials from rules barring them from advancing former clients' interests, and all White House staff are also exempt from provisions that would bar them from talking to media orgs. Call it the Bannon loophole." Look, these waivers are explicitly designed so that Trump's staff can meet with industry lobbyists and conduct personal business on government time. It also allows a lot of the lobbyists who Trump hired to work in the White House to work with their former employers, which in all likelihood they'll go back to working for when Trump's out of the Oval Office. That's called the revolving door, folks. And Trump essentially just green-lighted a bunch of lobbyists working inside the government to work for corporate interests while they're on the government payroll. And even worse, Trump tried to make sure his premeditated ethical lapses never came to light. As The Independent reported, quote, "Earlier in the month, Mick Mulvaney, director of Office of Management and Budget, questioned the Ethics Office's legal jurisdiction and asked the Office of Government Ethics to suspend its collection of waiver information. OGE Director Walter Schaub Jr. issued a forceful letter defending the office's legal standing and asserting his intention to implement ethics rules with independence, free from political pressure. As the showdown escalated, the White House announced Friday that it would release the waiver information. Sounds like we either got some honest civil servants or some great civil resistors in the Office of Government Ethics. And they ain't on the Trump train of corruption, rule-breaking, and cheating that seems to be business as usual in the White House these days. I'm Ryan Clayton. This is Content News. Come back daily for the news where we're free to share the truth.